What were they chanting at the rallies? I think we all remember they had some pretty good chants.
No, just the usual, USA, make America great again.
Lock her up. Lock her up.
The obvious things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. What do you think in general about jailing political opponents?
Totally against it. It's against the Constitution. It's not America. It's not the U.S. I mean, think about it.
Okay, so I feel like we're talking about two different things. I was talking about when Trump was trying to get Hillary in jail in 2016.
Oh, I see what you mean. Well,
Watching this man short circuit in real time paints a perfect picture of just how ignorant so many of our fellow Americans are about political issues that truly matter.
Even if the tables were turned around, I wouldn't agree.
You wouldn't like it if the Republicans were attacking Democrats.
I wouldn't like it at all.
And I love my state. I've lived here. I was born here. I grew up here, just like many of you. And there is no way that we are going to hand over our home state of Georgia to the radical, godless left.
You've been to Trump rallies before?
Oh, yeah.
You were in Trump rallies in 2016?
Yes, sir.
And when he was chanting, lock her up, lock her up.
I was chanting along with him. But, now let me say this. She was never investigated. The FBI never investigated anything. Matter of fact, they dropped it and swept it under the rug.
So the FBI announced an investigation into Hillary Clinton 11 days before the 2016 election, and a lot of people feel it cost her the election. So they did do that.
They did do the investigation? I never heard of it.
And again, this is what we're dealing with, folks, on the other end of the political spectrum. People who don't know what's going on. They've been so brainwashed or left behind by the education system, or acting out of sheer malice, maybe. Could be a combination of all three of those things. For those of us, though, who do actually look out the window, venture outdoors, it's tough to take what these people are saying seriously, but we must, because they make up a sizable portion of the population, which means they do have real political power. And the saddest part is some actually recognize the fundamental problem with American politics. They do. But at the same time, it goes completely over their heads.
What's worse to you, a rhino or a Democrat?
One's an infiltrator, the other one's just evil.
What's worse, a rhino or a Democrat?
Well, it's a uniparty. I think Democrats are just more public about it. And the rhinos are a little more deceptive about it, so they pull the wool over our eyes and still lead us to slaughter.
What's worse to you, a rhino or a Democrat?
Oh, a Democrat. Are you kidding me? I don't understand how people can be a Democrat.
What's worse to you, a rhino or a Democrat?
Democrat.
Why?
Every time a Democrat gets in office, there goes our economy. They make promises. So much for the promises.
What's worse, a rhino or a Democrat?
I think they're on equal footing.
What's worse, a rhino or a Democrat?
Oh, it's a tie. It's a tie. I mean, these guys are just terrible, and gals, whoever, are just trying to sell that type of thing, and it's just, they're part of the graft. Okay, they're all taking something somewhere.
What's worse, rhino or Democrat?
To me, they're the same thing, but I would think a rhino mostly because they are alluding to being conservative values, and if they don't back, what is in the Constitution, I don't know how they can still maintain their office seat. It's ridiculous. They're sworn. Their oath is to swear upon the Constitution, uphold the Constitution, and they're not doing that. So I don't know why they can't be removed.
Interestingly, these folks do seem to recognize that rhinos and Democrats are held by the same captors, corporations and capitalism. But political moderates, they may pose the biggest threat during any election cycle. They are an eternal margin in the middle, wielding enormous power in a tug of war in a cyclical way. Wherever they are in their personal lives, their bubbles, well, that shapes how they feel about politics and policies. How they vote, though, always must benefit or appease them. Call it the me crowd. They hold back progressive policies, and yes, they will vote against hard right policies that make them personally uncomfortable. But they're not brave. They're always on their heels, never their toes, and that is why whichever side has the best or most sinister messaging, whoever's willing to do whatever it takes, can win. And that's what it's all about. winning, staying in power, and then grabbing more.